Hello, welcome everyone. We're going to wait just another minute or two to let a few more people come in before we get started. And welcome if you're just arriving. We are going to wait just a little bit longer for a few people to come in, and we'll get started in just a minute. Hello, thank you for being here. Welcome to the DLC's webinar on SSL version 6.0 and Luna version 2.0, draft 1, controls categories and field adjustable webinar. My name is Jason Jeanette. I'm a technical manager here at the DLC. Couple housekeeping things before we get started. These slides will be available on, I apologize, the slides and the recorded webinar will be available on our website shortly after the presentation. All attendees are automatically muted today. If you have questions or technical difficulties, please reach out to us in the chat or question pane. You'll find the question pane is a little box with a question mark in it. So please submit your questions for Q&A at the end in that box. We'll manage them and then address them at the end of the presentation. Just a quick overview, the DesignLights Consortium is an independent nonprofit organization. We provide decision makers with data and resources on quality lighting, lighting controls, and integrated building systems with our goals to reduce energy, carbon, and pollution. The goal here is to go through what is changing specifically in the topics of controls and field adjustability between version 5.1 and the proposal for version 6, draft 1. Look at what's changed, why it's changed, and then invite your comments. Our goals for SSL version 6 and Luna 2, version 2, are, as shown here, we're trying to advance energy and support decarbonization, or advancing efficiency. We're expanding eligibility for the QPL. We're driving greater adoption of lighting controls and helping mitigate light pollution. We are at the step 3 in the stakeholder input process here. So we've submitted a policy draft and we're in the middle of comment period, which is actually step 4. And we'll have another comment period after this one. So the end of this comment period, I believe, is May 15th. And then we'll process all your comments and update the draft, and then have another one before the final policy release in October. We'll go over the timeline at the end of the presentation. All feedback is welcome and will be considered. So if you have any comments, please submit your comments using the comment form by May 16th. I got that wrong earlier, May 16th, and email your comments to comments@designlights.org. All right, controllability. So we are kind of revamping all of the controls information we'll be collecting in the SSL QPL for this version. The goals are to better support incentive programs, particularly for integral controls and controls-ready luminaires. So we're changing the reporting on required reporting from controls products, including variations within individual product IDs. And we're doing that by collecting specific driver and controls information through what we're calling controls options tables. And I'll go through those in detail. This is what our control features look like today. We have a whole bunch of different questions that we ask manufacturers to answer. We are kind of scratching all of this and switching to these controls options tables, which will then inform the controls categories that individual model numbers get slotted into. The controls categories are lined up with efficiency program incentive levels. For indoor luminaires, there are 6, starting at luminaires only. So it's a luminaire with no controls on board. Category 2 is a controls-ready luminaire. So that's for example, a high bay with a phono jack sensor port on it. Controls levels 3 and 4 are for luminaires with integral sensors that are not networked. And then 5 and 6 are luminaires with a networked controller. 6 is a luminaire with a networked controller and a sensor on board. To get all this information, we will be using these controls options tables. Now, this is a table that will be included in the submission application from the manufacturer, and they will need to complete this table for this part of their applications. One note we are adding for draft 2 that is shown here but is not in the TR draft is that we'll be adding the minimum dimming level column for the controls tables. Here's an example of how this will work. We've chosen a troffer from ILP. This particular troffer currently has 309 listings, 309 separate product IDs on the QPL today under version 5.1. So this is a decent sized family. All of these 309 product IDs will be able to use a single controls option table. Moving forward in the spec sheet, here is the ordering guide for this particular product, and we are focusing on the drivers and controls sections of the ordering guide. I'm going to blow that up a little bit here, and there'll be the controls option table will be a mixture of all of these options, all of the valid options for these products. I'm going to switch to Excel for this, and I'm going to turn my camera off for a little bit so that you guys can see this a little better. So please give me a moment. Okay, here is the controls option table for this troffer family. Starting with the first row, which is a blank controls option code. So that means this is a product with no controls, no integral controls on it at all. The default uses a 0 to 10 volt driver. It has a minimum dimming level of 10% and no integral controllers or sensors on there, and therefore it's a category 1. This particular product contains several driver options. So each one of those options gets its own row. For controls option code SR, that's a sensor ready driver. That happens to be a Dolly version 1 driver. Again, 10% minimum dimming level, no integral sensor or controllers. And moving down to the other options, there's another Dolly driver and then a 0 to 10 volt driver that dims down to 1%. Moving down the options, we get into the control options. So this would be the control versions with the default driver. Neuro is one of ILP's controls options that uses a 0 to 10 volt driver, dims to 10%. The integral controller that's on board uses a proprietary Bluetooth system to communicate with it. There is no receptacle. This particular product has an integral sensor on board that's passive infrared that does both occupancy and daylight sensing. It has a maximum mounting height of the sensor of 12 feet. It is connected to the NLC QPL listed system with a product ID of that. I'm not going to read it out. And because it does not have a receptacle on board, there are no controls ready accessory numbers. And because this is both connected to an NLC listed system and has a controller and sensor on board, that is controls category 6. And then basically the rest of it is just moving down through all these different options. ESMC is another, I believe that is EasySense. So that's a different control system, has a different NLC product ID, and it's listed, so it's category 6. One thing that is also here, one thing that noted is that in order to be in categories 5 or 6, a product has to be connected to an NLC QPL listed networked lighting control system, or part of it. If a product has a networked controller on board, but that particular system is not listed on the NLC QPL, then it is not eligible for categories 5 or 6. In this case, this is a enlighted system, which is no longer listed. I understand also this will no longer be available. It's on the cut sheet, so I've put it in here for completeness. But even though this product has an integral controller as well as sensors on board, uh, that network system is not listed, and so it's category 4. And as we continue down, we go through the different valid options for all of these ideas. So in this case, the sensor-ready driver is available with EasySense, a couple Lutron drivers, or Lutron systems shown here, and they have different values. Some of them are DALI version 1, some of them are DALI version 2 certified. Some do not have sensors on board, some do. And then same thing back down with the 1% dimming driver option. One thing to note is that the controls categories will be added by the DLC during the review process. So in this case, in this spreadsheet, category L will not be listed on the application. We'll just see columns A through K. All right, moving on to an outdoor example. For outdoor, we have a few more categories to kind of cover a few of those options. One of the things we really want to call out are luminaires that are capable of part night dimming, whether that is from a integral device or a controls ready device. So we got a couple extra options here. They're labeled as 1A and 1B to try to keep things simple. Again, the controls option table is very much the same. The only difference is that the outdoor controls option table includes a column for a top receptacle and a bottom receptacle for the controls ready options. And again, we're adding the minimum dimming level to this table. So for this example, we have an area light from Current, not Cooper, I apologize. This particular family has over 1,800 product IDs on the QPL today. Here is the ordering guide for this thing. We're looking at the controls options and blowing that up again. So we've got a fair number of options here. One thing to point out again, this single controls option table will apply to all 1,800 of these product IDs. So switching back to our spreadsheet, again, we have the blank default option at the top. The default option is a 0 to 10 volt wired driver, minimum dimming level of 10%, and no other options, category 1. Then we have a few network connection options, both from, these are all from Current. This particular one uses a 7-pin twist lock receptacle on the top of the luminaire, as well as having an integral sensor of occupancy photocell and passive infrared, and is connected to an NLC QPL listed system. So that goes for category 6, I apologize. This is category 6 and not category 2 because the device that goes into the twist lock receptacle is ordered with the luminaire, all in one product number. And we'll get down another example later on. And then this repeats again for the other controls options with different systems. Here is a network system that is not listed with us. So again, those are limited to category 4. Here's the BTS. I believe this is a local only system where it's not networked, but there is a controller on board that can be programmed locally. And Current, correct me if I'm wrong, I apologize. One example down here is this fixture is available with a 7-pin twist lock receptacle with nothing in it. So you can order that with just the receptacle and purchase a device to go into that receptacle later or elsewhere. In that case, this qualifies for category 2. Here's one with a shorting cap, same thing, that is controls ready, category 2, and the shorting cap comes with it. This one has a photocell on it that comes with it, so that puts it in category 1A currently. One note on outdoor luminaires, our current draft proposes to disallow 3-pin twist lock receptacles from being listed on the QPL. In this case, because of the controls options table and the way they work, we want to collect for completeness, any product that offers a 3-pin receptacle. We want to collect that information so we can display it and then show that that is not applicable. So the controls category is not available for that particular variation of that product. And then we have a couple other different integral controllers and sensors. These are non-networked, so this one just has a sensor on it and board, both at an 8-foot mounting height and a 40-foot mounting height. All right. So we've posted a bunch of key questions about this topic. Please, they are on page 73 of the TR draft. Please take a look and respond to those questions in the comment form. Moving on to field adjustability. Again, we are kind of revamping this a little bit to better align with industry practice and to encourage the use of lower outputs and lower color temperatures. We are kind of changing the definition of field adjustable to make it make clear that we mean adjustments made at the time of installation and local to the luminaire. We've got 3 different types of field adjustable products. There's field adjustable light output, field adjustable color temperature, and field adjustable light distribution. So again, to make this distinction very clear, we're defining field adjustable as changes that are made physically at the luminaire, typically during installation, as opposed to dimming or tuning, which are changes that are typically made remote from the luminaire over the course of normal operation. Typically, field adjustable fixture, somebody's not getting on a ladder and changing the color temperature every day. Although that is something that can happen normally in a tuning fixture or a color temperature tuning fixture. So three options: field adjustable light output. We are proposing that products shipped at the lowest wattage setting, and we're looking for feedback on that idea. The goal here is to encourage more energy savings with the theory that many times the field adjustable products are left at their default setting. And if that default setting is low, then there's more energy savings there. Field adjustable correlated color temperature, we're just showing color temperature there. Again, we're splitting this up from color tuning. And also we are proposing that these products ship at their lowest color temperature. This is particularly important for outdoor applications. There's a lot of research finding that lower color temperatures has less of an impact on the environment. And so we're trying to encourage the use of lower color temperatures in outdoor spaces. And then field adjustable light distribution. One of the changes here is we are looking to collect some more information about the type and range of these products. For indoor luminaires, we're looking to collect the degree of adjustment range. So how far can these adjust? And for outdoor, we'd like to collect the IES distribution types and the NEMA distribution types based on PUD. Again, we have key questions for this topic. Those are on page 79. So please answer those and include any comments you have in the comment form. All right, do we have any questions? I see a bunch of questions coming in. And let me bring down, let me get my camera back on so I can see what's going on. Okay, we have a scenario. In the scenario where the base fixture uses a 0 to 10 driver, 10-volt driver, and one of the options in the control options table uses a digital driver, would this fixture qualify for premium? The short answer to that is no. In that case, the premium fixtures that are available with the digital driver would need to be split off and to have a different product ID. So in this case, the same controls options table would apply, but the premium listed ones would have their own product ID, and the 0 to 10 volt ones would have a standard listing product ID. I hope that answers that. Let's see if they work. One question, what if products work with multiple NLC systems? That would be 2 lines. This is based on the ordering codes of a product. So if a single model number for an orderable product really only includes 1 NLC system, I can't really think of a situation where somebody would want to order a single luminaire that works with 2 systems at the same time, although maybe that's possible. But in this case, it would be those would be 2 separate controls options. They'd be on different lines in the controls options table, and then they would apply to those. Another question is, what is the thought process behind asking for sensor maximum mounting height? Most of that, the thought process there is to help the efficiency programs make sure that people are ordering appropriate products for the application. So, for instance, if there's a program that's incentivizing a whole bunch of high bays that are like 400 watt high bays, and the maximum mounting height is 15 feet, then that's probably not an appropriate product for the application of a 400 watt high bay, unless they need 200 or 300 foot candles for that particular application. In that case, that's a signal to the efficiency program to take a look at that project with a little more scrutiny and see if they can figure out what's going on there, if somebody's gaming things, or if that's a legitimate choice. Will the detail of the control info be listed on the QPL or just the control category listed on the QPL? Right now, the plan is that the details will be listed. So there are kind of 2 ways that this will play out. And I don't have an example here because this is kind of focused on the controls table, but kind of 2 ways the idea we're working on is for users that are searching for a specific model number, say copy and paste it off an invoice, paste it into our search field, and then the system will try to search for that model number, find the correct product ID, and then within that product ID, associate a controls category with the specific controls option code that's in that string of text, and show that on the results page. So the controls categories are all, again, within a product ID. So they're product variations within one of those listings. Then if that satisfies the user and what they're looking for, then that's really great. Another scenario is if they don't find exactly what they're looking for, or the user is looking with a product ID search. In that case, the listing results will show all of the categories covered by that specific product ID. So you'll see in the results page, you'll see like controls categories 1, 2, 5, and 6, or whatever it is for that particular product ID. And then when they click into the product detail page in the controls accordion, we will display that, basically we'll display that table with that information so that the user can verify, oh yes, this particular option code, this has all this information. We'll show the product category, the controls category in there as well, and the mounting height, maximum mounting height, so they can confirm that. Next one. For field adjustable light distribution, what's the proposed ship out setting? We are not proposing one for that. So I think we're going to leave that up to the manufacturers and however they would like. Here's one that says, part number requirements mean more complex and longer digits, causing all entities involved more time to search for projects and look up wildcard digits. Will DLC allow manufacturers to add DLC unique product IDs to product labels for ease of search? That is a question that is beyond my pay grade, so I'm gonna have to pause on that one, and we'll see what we can do. But what I want to clarify something here is that we're not requiring changes to your product numbers, to your model numbers. We are just collecting information about the model numbers as they exist today. One thing I missed in there is if in a specific controls option code there is a so in the Troffer example, there was a driver and then some emergency option codes and then the integral control option code. If there is a non-control segment of your model number in the middle between your driver and your controls options, that non-control segment is allowed to be wildcarded. So we're not making any changes to the way that model numbers are wildcarded or displayed on the QPL as they are today. We are collecting a little bit more information about the model number variations specific to controls within that model number. And I'm happy to talk more about that offline if that helps. I had a question about, does the answer about digital drivers apply to outdoor and indoor products? Yes. Yeah, yes. In cases like for ILP where an NLC system no longer exists, whose responsibility is it to update? In the case of like this IPL example we asked with the enlighted system, right now we probably don't need a very serious update scheme for that, but we'll have to check. I'd like to be able to cover that in kind of the normal update process as products are updated. But so in the case of enlighted system going away, we don't want to remove that immediately because there are still some of those products in the channel. They may get ordered. They may get incentivized for X number of months from now. But eventually, when a product is updated in the normal course of operation of its life cycle, then that would be happening there. That said, if say if you add more controls options to a particular family as a product management choice on a manufacturer's side, then yes, please do submit it. So then those options will be qualified for a incentives. Right. Next question. Will field adjustable distribution cover types such as 5H, 5V, or 6H, 6V? Yes, the plan is that that'll be a text field so that manufacturers will be able to input kind of those details as they like. The field adjustable options, they don't need to be as rigid. So the controls options tables, all of the acceptable terms in there will be drop-down menus, and they're pretty locked down, or they will be locked down after the second draft. But for the field adjustable distribution options, we can keep those open and allow you guys to communicate the details and nuances that you need to communicate. All right, and the last one is, what is the thought process of requiring digital drivers to qualify for premium? The thought process there is that the premium program is intended to push the market and push the market in kind of a direction that we'd like it to go in. And digital drivers, while they don't directly really save a whole lot more energy, what they do is offer many, many non-energy benefits, in particular, two-way communication and kind of maintenance reporting and hours of operation, and a whole bunch of many, many benefits that digital drivers have that are not as capable, not really as easy to get or easy to do with 0 to 10 volt drivers. So the idea is to kind of push that adoption with the premium program. If you have any comments on that, please submit your comment forms. Another one. Why are we suggesting to ship luminaires with the lowest setting? So as I mentioned during the presentation, many the feedback we have heard from our utility members is that many products get installed, many field adjustable products get installed at their default setting. And so if that default setting is the lowest wattage, then there are extra energy savings to be had there. And if that default setting is the lowest color temperature, then there are some non-energy benefits and environmental impacts that can be reduced, particularly in outdoor applications. Another question, is field adjustable light output targeting lumen selectable luminaires only? What if lumen selectable luminaires are ordered with a specific lumen package and configured as such from the manufacturer? So field adjustable light output are specifically for luminaires that have a installer adjustable lumen output. If a specific lumen package is specified and that setting, say a driver is configured at the factory to achieve that specific lumen package, then that is not a field adjustable luminaire by our definition. So these are products that have switches or dials or a slider or something on them that they could also have that field adjustability could also be done from a electronic means, but it has to be set to happen or intended to happen in the field, not at the factory, not at the distributor. I hope that helps clear that out. Okay, who do you envision using these control tables and to what end? The primary user of the control tables will actually be the DLC, and we will use them to assign the controls categories to a specific controls option code. Then that will enable our utility members and QPL users to more quickly connect a specific ordered model number off an invoice and verify the controls that were ordered with that specific product. Right now, the way the QPL is set up, a single product ID covers many different controls options. And so this is our attempt to try to bring some clarity to what controls options are actually ordered on a particular invoice. To do that today, that means going to the QPL to confirm that the specific luminaire is listed, and then going to the manufacturer's website and finding the spec sheet and digging through the spec sheet to find the specific controls option code that is associated with a specific set of controls options. So is that a networked product? Does it have an integral sensor on board? All of that. So we're trying to surface that information for our members to make it easier for them to incentivize products with integral controls and controls ready products. And the goal there is to allow them to continue investing in incentive budgets for these products. How will the products be listed by DLC if they are selectable wattage and required to be delivered at the lowest setting? So on the QPL, we will have a field adjustable section that'll have details about the field adjustable versions. So if there is a field adjustable light output, there will be details of each of the available settings for that particular product, what the lumen output and wattage draw is at each setting, and then an indication of which is the default. There'll be the same thing for the color temperature, indication of what each of those settings are and what's the default. And we'd like to do the same thing with distribution, probably, although that's a little bit more complicated. The idea is that the manufacturer will be reporting the default along with all the options, and we'd like to specify that they make the default the lowest output and the lowest color temperature for those two options. Oh, so many more. Okay. On the application, we can have both Phalo, FACT, and FLAD available on a luminaire. Yes. Yes, you'll be able to do the master luminaire that controls them all. Will be able to make all of those adjustments. Is it still the expectation that manufacturers of NLC systems will have to approve if a luminaire manufacturer lists their controls option as an option? Yes. The plan is to make that similar to how we handle the private label agreements currently, where the first time that a luminaire manufacturer lists a controls option from a specific controls manufacturer, then they'll have to provide a a DocuSign or something from the controls manufacturer that says, yes, we will sell to Joe's Lights. And then once we've got that on file, we'll note that in the records, and then from then on, we'll just be able to look back at that. So we will only need that approval once. If we need a like a negative option, a way to remove that approval, we can also approach that as well. All right, another question of what is the driver type for wired integrated driver plus controller mean? So this option is intended to cover a situation where the luminaire driver and a network controller all exist within the same housing, the same box of a device. They're a single device. I know there are a couple of manufacturers that have this product, this type of product. So in that case, half of the box does the driver side and half of the box does the network controller side. So in that case, the driver communication method or driver type doesn't really apply because that's all happening within the same unit. So the idea was to try to cover that situation. And if you have thoughts on that, please submit comments. Oh, there's one more. Oh no, we got that one. Let's see, a couple others here. Why would 3-pin twist lock controls not qualify? The main reason there is that 3-pin twist lock controls do not enable dimming through the receptacle. So a luminaire with a 3-pin receptacle on it is maybe dimmable itself, say like 0 to 10 volt flying leads or something, but that dimming capability is not accessible through the twist lock receptacle that's on the top of the luminaire. So we've kind of drawn a line in the sand there, decided like that's a reason not to list it. Again, this is a proposal, so we were looking for feedback on that position. So if you feel strongly, please submit comments. Talk about that. All right, I think we got one more. So changes being proposed are not affecting what is listed, only how the listings are built and displayed. Yes and no. So some of the proposed changes will affect how things are listed. For instance, the digital driver requirement for premium would affect which products are available to be listed as premium or standard, and the 3-pin receptacle proposal would change like what variations within a product ID are actually allowed to be listed. So yes and no, but the whole idea is overall, we're not changing or revamping the entirety of how families are made or how model numbers are split up on the QPL. That was one option that we explored, was basically disallowing wildcards completely. And we figured that would just balloon the size of the QPL to be beyond usable. So we decided not to do that. And this is kind of our middle ground between where we are now and that extreme of having to list everything individually. All right, I think that is all of the questions we've got right now. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let's see, products. So again, let's go back to our, looking forward, here's the timeline for the release. So we are right in the middle between these two left blue dots right now in the draft 1 comment period. The draft 2 comment period will begin on July 21st. So this comment period closes May 16th. We'll take a month, 6 weeks or so to kind of rearrange everything and update. Then another comment period opening July 21st. And then that closes at the end of August. And then we will have a final policy released on October 13th of this year. The goal then is to begin accepting applications for V6 products on January 5th of next year. And then on October 1st of 2026, any product that is not listed under version 6 will be delisted. And that is all we've got. Let's see if there are any. Oh, we got one more question coming in. Will this impact DC fixtures? Yes. There will be some impact to DC listed fixtures. There are currently very few DC listed fixtures on the QPL today, but we are also working on some changes to kind of update that and encourage more of those listings. But yes, these controls options will be required for those products. All right. Thank you everyone for attending. And if you have any comments, please again submit those comment forms. And have a good day.